Hi there, Pete from Craft Cellars here. I got something a little bit different for you guys today. I want to just tell you a little bit about this Kujira 24-year-old whiskey. Now, technically speaking, this is a single grain whiskey. It's produced in a single distillery on the island of Okinawa in Japan. However, it's a bit unusual. It's actually produced from 100% rice. So the kind of origin to this is that this distillery actually produced a liquor beverage called awamori, which was kind of unique to Okinawa. So it's distillate that is derived from rice, but it was typically bottled at around about 30 to 43% ABV. So they started in the 1950s, but in the late 1980s, they started laying down some of this distillate in oak and started trying to mature it and see how that kind of worked. And ultimately, when they released their first ever expression, which was a 20-year-old, they actually kind of founded a new category, as in rice whiskey. So this one's obviously a little bit older, but I'm really excited to see what this one is like and kind of try and compare it for you a little bit to other whiskies like single grain and single malt. So first of all, it's bottled at 43%, I should say, and it's aged in a first fill bourbon cask. So straight away, you are getting quite a lot of sweetness there. The bourbon influence is there, but there's a few other things happening in there too. So something in the area of maybe like pears, kind of stewed pears. There's also some dark fruit as well, actually. So something perhaps like a date or maybe prunish kind of note. There's herbaceousness as well, but it's very difficult to kind of pinpoint it. If I had to say, it would be something like sage, maybe. Smells lovely. Let's give it a try. So immediately the first thing you notice is how smooth it is. It's very, very easy in the palate. The sweetness is probably the most upfront part there. But then this kind of, it's not the same as a single malt whiskey, let's put it that way. The structure is a little bit different in that it's maybe a little bit more drying towards the finish, but initially you get these bursts of like anise and maybe even something like a kind of marzipan-y type note. There's also spice in there as well, like kind of a more kind of resonating spice that just kind of continues and lingers on. It's got a wonderfully long finish actually. But yeah, the fruit character is in there as well. There's quite a few bits and pieces to this whiskey actually. That's a really, really interesting little dram. I've never actually tried a rice whiskey before. So yeah, if you guys are interested in these kind of new and unusual styles of whiskey and really want to treat yourself, then this is absolutely something you want to check out. Cheers.